think we all can agree that the last few Maddens have been rather disappointing. But will that finally change with Madden 26? Yours truly got the opportunity to go down to EA and play the game a little early, and today I'm going to give you my 100% honest opinion on my experience with Madden 26. How much did EA pay you, paid shill? You're right, brother. Let me just go ahead and jump in my EA sponsor Lamborghini. But no, dude, you're getting my 100% honest opinion. I am going to talk about the good things that they added, but I'm also going to talk about the bad things they didn't add or the things that need to be changed, while also giving some special insight on some of the new features and maybe a few little teasers you haven't heard elsewhere, especially within franchise mode, but at the same time not giving up way too much inside information so EA Sports doesn't put me in jail. And also got to film with Eli Manning and some college football stars, which is just absolutely bonkers, you know, if any of you care. But let's start with the foundation of any football video game: gameplay. And the first thing I really experienced, dude, was how much they overhauled the weather within Madden 26. And it's just not like a talking feature, dude. Like, it's legitimately like the craziest weather we have ever seen in a Madden or a college football game, I would say ever. Now, you have to take it how you want to take it, because like some of you more competitive guys might get aggravated, you know, that it's snowing so hard that your quarterback throws the ball 15 yards past your intended receiver and get intercepted. Like, it's gonna be annoying. But it's like, what do you want, dude? And like, I want the game personally to play like it does in real life. Like, if you're playing in a blizzard in real life, dude, like obviously the game's gonna be played a little bit different, you know, than if it was a sunny 90-degree weather in Florida. And Madden 26 really does do a good job of encapsulating this. Like, the heavy rain game's absolutely nuts. Like, you can't even see really what's going on in the field. Same thing with the heavy snow. Like, as I mentioned, like, I know in past Maddens, there's been instances where like the weather obviously impacted what happened in the game, but it's never been to this level before. In the heavy rain and heavy snow games that I played, like, it was obviously apparent the quarterback accuracy was a little bit off, like it would probably be in real life. You might actually need to tune it a little bit, because sometimes it was a little wild. Quarterback's accuracy was a little crazy, but definitely noticeable. Also, players slip a lot, rather, you know, quarterback dropping back a player in a cut, you know, in his route. I think we all can agree, like, weather's a really big deal when it comes to actual football IRL, so I'm glad we can kind of get that same feel in Madden now. And I'm telling you, dude, not paid, just genuinely, you feel weather in Madden 26 like you never have before in a Madden game. Now, another feature that I got to experience that will also affect franchise mode, we have some more crazy franchise mode details coming a little bit later. The way EA's branding it for Madden 26 is quarterback DNA, and basically what it means is that quarterbacks in Madden 26 are going to reflect their real life selves more than ever before, and I'm being 100% honest when I say that. I know some people don't really care. I do, that like the players in game when you're playing actually reflect, actually look like they do in real life, actually play, actually move like they do, and your top quarterback specifically will throw the ball exactly like they do in real life. They will move exactly like they do in real life. Kyler Murray, like his funky little, like he has like weird, like he's short, so he has some funky strides. So now in Madden 26, when you scramble with Kyler Murray, he also has that funky stride in game. It was cool, you know, playing Madden 26 using like a Matthew Stafford and seeing him just randomly, you know, to be able to get a throw off, just drop into a sidearm angle, and that happens a lot. And that kind of brings me into like the new traits that are being added to Madden. I don't think I can really specifically talk about which traits are being added, but you know, like the old traits, like let's say paranoid in the pocket, throw ball away, sense pressure, big hitter, fights for extra yards, covers the ball, stuff like that. For the first time in forever, that has been completely overhauled, and they have 50 new traits they're going to have in Madden. Now, obviously, a lot of them will affect quarterbacks. They'll also have some effect, you know, guys like Travis Hunter, that'll help him not have the wear and tear affect him so much, since he'll play both sides of the ball, but more on that later. But these traits will be a big indicator of like what these quarterbacks do in game. And just as in past Maddens, the traits will also kind of affect how players play in franchise mode and simulation as well. Again, more on that a little bit later. So like, I know some of you might not care as much as I do about this, but I do genuinely think it's cool, and I was able to experience it firsthand. Like, the quarterbacks look like they do in real life in Madden as closely as ever before. And when it comes to coaches in Madden 26, it's kind of the same thing, same branding, coach DNA, and it really means the same thing but for coaches. First of all, the coaches actually look a lot better, so that's first thing. They actually have their headsets in game. But in this sense, I mean more like the coaches will actually coach like they do in real life in Madden. Like, obviously in real life, some coaches have different tendencies than others. And I was firsthand able to experience Dane Campbell in game going for it on 4th down when you wouldn't expect a CPU AI to do so. It'd be like around midfield, like a 4th down and 2, and they just always punt. Like, it's always kind of stupid, because like in the game, like when you're playing like in franchise or something, like it would be a high leverage situation, and like you're all excited because you stopped them on a 4th and inches punches at the 50-yard line, you just know the CPU always punts, even though in real life they probably go for it if you're down by like 4 or 5. But not in this Madden. Like Dan Campbell, like he'll go for it on 4th down even when he's winning. Like it's crazy, man. And I'll be honest, I didn't get to actually play like that many games. I got to play for probably like 3-ish hours, so I can't really say much outside of the Dan Campbell situation. That's when I specifically noticed it. But like I say, the defensive coaches in real life that blitz more than others, you'll notice them blitz more than other teams you play in franchise. And the cool thing about this too is it's like supposed to update as time goes along. They're gonna use real data from the NFL and implement it as the season goes along. So if some teams play a little bit different throughout the season, if some coaches maybe change their tendencies a little bit, they're theoretically supposed to be updating that periodically into Madden. Let's all be honest, whether that ends up happening, we'll have to see, and how well it gets implemented, we'll also have to see. But from what I experienced, and again, take it with a grain of salt, because only for a few hours, the coach DNA and the quarterback DNA thing was really, really cool. Now, also when it comes to gameplay, there's a lot of new plays in general in Madden 26. I don't know the exact number. I did notice a lot of new ones. Now, I know the number one question is the tush push in Madden 26. I don't think so. I could be. I'm not totally confident. Like, I just wanted to answer that because I'm gonna get that question a lot. I don't think so. That's not to say they're not gonna add it later, or maybe I completely missed it, but I feel like I would have heard. Like, I don't think the tush push is in Madden 20. That wouldn't be. I don't think that'd be fun in a game. Like, you just wouldn't be able to stop it. Now, moving into something else that I have always found very important. Again, this is another one that might be down on the importance list for some people, but the general presentation when it comes to each and every game that you play in Madden 26 is totally revamped. You know how generally, like, it's agreeable that, like, one of the best things about College Football 26 was the presentations. Like, you encapsulated, like, the game day environments to perfection, the pre-game traditions, all that stuff, like crowd noise and everything. We've never really had that to that extreme in a Madden game. I think this is actually gonna be the first Madden ever where that's actually the case. I don't know if it was, like, easier for them to add that kind of aspect into Madden after they already programmed that for college, but, like, the game day environments are, like, totally different than they've ever been before. There's a bunch of pre-game traditions that you'll see, like, unique to every team. Also, there's freaking mascots in Madden. Like, am I tripping? Like, I could be. Like, I don't know. I really don't feel like I've ever seen mascots in Madden ever. Like, mascots in Madden, dude, it's nuts. Like, maybe we get the mascot mashup in Madden. I don't quote me. Like, I didn't play that. Like, that's not a thing. Would be cool, though. But again, this is one of those things where I know, like, some people don't care. A lot of people, this is, like, their favorite thing. I know a lot of people just skip it. A lot of people actually watch through. But it's gonna be, like, a totally different, like, game day and also pre-game experience when it comes to almost every single Madden game that you play. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna ask me about, like, Super Bowl stuff. I didn't get to play Super Bowl, so I have no idea if, like, Super Bowl game day presentation is any different, or, like, Super Bowl celebration stuff's any different. Now, something massive that I'm able to exclusively announce on my channel, we have Battle Royale coming to Madden 26. It's a joke. It's a joke. What they did add is wear and tear to Madden 26, which we all kind of experienced in College Football 25, but for the first time ever, it's coming to Madden. Again, it's something you have to manage in franchise mode. Again, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know if this is, like, just me being an idiot, but in the games I played, I didn't really notice it that much. I wasn't really in, like, that mind frame, because I had literally just interviewed Eli Manning, and, like, I just really didn't know what just happened in my life, so I was just kind of, like, not in the right frame of mind. So I don't know if that means it's actually toned down from College Football 25, so the wear and tear is not going to be as big of a deal, but also something you do have to manage. Like, you can't just run the ball, same player 20 times a game. At the same time, I just could have been in a state of euphoria and just not noticed. I know the competitive guys don't really like wear and tear, but I do. I just like all the different elements that you get to add to a game that makes it more realistic. Obviously, it's got to be implemented right, and EA's, had some problems with implementing features correctly, in their history, but, I like wear and tear. Now, primarily being a franchise guy, I am hyped that we have new positions in Madden 26. New positions as, like, positions that are, like, real football positions, but we never had in Madden, like, in a franchise mode. Like, for example, you had long snapper on the depth chart, but you never had an actual long snapper position. Like, your long snappers would always end up being, like, 30 rated tight ends. They'd always end up getting cut. But now in franchise, your long snappers will actually be long snappers. We finally have edge as a position. We finally have nose tackle as a position. I mean, it's kind of nuts when you think about it, like, how long it took, but hey, better late than never. Guys that only learned their football from Madden will finally be able to learn. You have new positions now in edge and nose tackles. No longer just defensive end. No longer just outside linebacker. Already brainstorming, interested to see if you maybe could win MVP compete with a long snapper, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get to that later. Oh, and I forgot, dude. You also have a gadget position. Like, I really didn't get to experience, like, exactly what that meant, but I think it means exactly what it sounds like. It's gonna be a player that you can kind of run trick plays with, put in specific formations. It's gonna be a fun little aspect added to franchise mode in the game in general. Now, it was very interesting to witness Travis Hunter playing both ways in Madden 26. I will say, too, I don't know if it's finalized at all, because I've been very interested how they're going to code that into the game, because they never had a two-way player. And, like, for some reason, like, say you had a cornerback in Madden and you had him playing a wide receiver, like, it doesn't count as stats. So, like, is Travis Hunter, like, if he's, like, listed at cornerback in the game, will it actually be able to track his wide receiver stats? Like, I'd assume. I didn't get to see if that was the case or not. Also want to say, very disappointed. I can confirm exclusively that Morgan Freeman was removed from Madden 26. Like, it was so funny. I talked with some of the developers and I had to ask him, like, brother, like, what's this guy doing? Like, why is he in Madden? Like, nothing was better than you drafted the #1 overall selection and this guy coming out as a 20-year-old. Like, nah, dude, he's at least in his 70s. Like, what's he doing as an NFL player? Get him out of there. Which leads me to also say there were some new faces added to the game. I don't know how many exactly. Like, I kind of had to rush through that portion of my experimental gameplay. And in terms of new faces, I even get me in the game because for some reason they decided to face scam me. I mean, I have to say, like, it would be cool if my face was in the game, you know, if I could actually be Coach RBT for once. Now, we've been beating around the bush up to this point, brother. Let's get into franchise mode. First thing I noticed, crazy, dude. Before you can play any game in franchise, you have to drive to the stadium. Like, if you're driving to the stadium, get hit by an 18-wheeler, brother, you gotta forfeit. Joke. It's a joke. It's insane, dude, how many people actually take that seriously. Like, how many people that makes crash out. Like, dude, like, go take some ashwagandha, like, fix those cortisol levels, get them in order. There's so much going on in the sports world right now. You got the NBA playoffs, the MLB season's going on. We'll also have the football season here before you know it. And this is exactly why I wanted to tell you guys about my special hookup with today's sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek's the planet's #1 rated ticketing app with over 28 million downloads. Big reason why is they have over 70,000 events listed on the app, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. And by now, I'm pretty sure you guys know how much I love my SeatGeek, and I have the receipts to prove it, as literally every single sporting event I've attended since 2019, I've used SeatGeek. Not to mention, SeatGeek is super simple to use, as each ticket is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, so you know exactly when you're getting a good deal. Make sure to look for the green dots, as green means good and red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And as mentioned earlier, you guys know I'm coming through with a special hookup, as you can use code RBT10 to get 10% off your next tickets at SeatGeek. Again, that's 10% off any tickets at SeatGeek with my promo code RBT10. And make sure to either click the link in the description box below or in the pinned comment so you can download the app and have my code automatically added to your account. And it genuinely is true, but you gotta hear me out. And EA is branding this as the biggest update to franchise mode in a decade. Now, I understand the reservation, and that's totally fine. Like, if you don't believe that's the case, more power to you. Like, from what I saw, what I experienced, and what is still to be announced, I can't tell you about everything. Like, I genuinely do believe that's the case. Now, I also, like, want to manage your expectations there, because I'll go out on a limb and say, like, that doesn't mean much. Like, the additions to franchise mode over, like, the past, like, 5-10 years have been bare bones, and it's been pretty depressing. So to say it's the biggest overall update to the mode in a decade doesn't really mean that much, but it's kind of like an overall collective addition of a bunch of smaller things at a scale, I guess. When I say that, there's some cool, like, bigger features that they added to the game mode, and I know, like, we say this every year, but I genuinely do believe it is a step in the right direction. First of all, from what I experienced, and I specifically made sure to test this out because this is the #1 thing that triggers me. It makes me so mad. It doesn't take 15 seconds to click a button anymore. I'm so over clicking a button to, like, go into, like, lineup or something franchise, taking 15 seconds. Like, we gotta stop that. Like, there's gotta be in the past. And again, like, not to say, like, maybe it was just the build we were playing, maybe it was just extra fast, but I didn't experience 15-second waiting times every time I clicked the button franchise. So, like, right then and there, dude, that's a massive upgrade to me. Also, like, if you're somebody that always creates a coach, you no longer only have, you know, a polo and a long sleeve shirt to put on. You actually have a plethora of options. And there's a lot of people that are very, very, very passionate about, like, what your coach plus your players wear in game, like trying to make sure you have the up-to-date swag. So at least you have a multitude of options to, swag your coach out. I know also people are going to ask me if you can start a franchise as a player like you used to. I don't know. I actually didn't think about testing that out. I know it's a big question, so like don't ask me in the comments. I don't know. Now, you might have already heard or read about this in the big Madden 26 like reveal trailer or in the deep dive, but coaching abilities are coming to Madden franchise, and it's actually a really big deal. It's like a really big emphasis. It's like, it's not just, it's like a big thing in franchise. It's a huge section in the entire mode. It's not like the old skill tree system where like you upgrade something and you get like +1 to run, block, and whip beat. Like, don't even notice that. Like, no. But the coaching abilities are a huge addition, and I really think it's going to change the way we play franchise. There's a lot that goes into it that I don't know if I can really get into. I mean, you upgrade certain things that affect the team, like depending on how you play. If like you change the style of the way you play, maybe you stop running the ball so much and your rushing stats aren't as good, you don't run the ball as effective, you lose some of those abilities, so you lose some of that, you lose some of the stuff you gain. It all really depends on your play style, how you build your team. Like, again, I know they add these features every now and then that like sound really good and then nobody cares. I didn't get to experience it enough to tell you one way or another. It genuinely seems it's going to be like a franchise game changer. Now, I brought up wear and tear before. You're obviously going to have to manage that within franchise mode. Like, some players might get a little banged up throughout the season. Some of those ratings might go down. You have trainers now in franchise, so like the better trainer you have, the better you're going to be able to manage that wear and tear. One thing that does disappoint me is like the playbooks still seem like they're a pretty big deal when it comes to simulation. That's like my #1 gripe with franchise mode. That and how it takes 25 minutes to click a button. Can't stand it. To be completely fair, I didn't get to run as many experiments as possible to see, but from the few I did, it did seem like it was kind of funky. And piggyback into presentation, specifically for franchise mode, is pretty big deal, dude. We now have Monday night primetime, Thursday night primetime, and Sunday night primetime specific presentations. So like if you're playing those primetime games, it is going to feel like a completely different franchise game. Like from the intros, the score bug's going to be different. It's not like Monday Night Football. It's not Thursday Night Football. It's not Sunday Night Football for like, I guess like licensing reasons. It's the same feel though. But again, when you get like a special primetime game, the whole point is just to like make it feel different. And that leads me into the new halftime and weekly recap shows with Scott Hansen. So every halftime, also every week in franchise, you're going to have a recap show with Scott Hansen hosting it. Like, this is something people have been asking for forever. And again, it's like a split thing. Like, a lot of people have been asking for it for years. Some people probably skip it every time. But I think it's really cool because in every halftime, like, you're going to see highlights of all the games played in your franchise. And also could be coming, maybe not. And if you're an online franchise, you might see your friends' highlights in that recap show as well if they played their games. So we'll see if that actually gets implemented, which would be dope. I love it, dude. I think it's a massive dub. Also, on top of that, like a lot of little things, like I said, they added a bunch of gear, and that's a big deal for a lot of people. You have the option to get somebody a Guardian cap. I know there's a lot of people very passionate about there being pants above the knee. That's not in Madden 26 for whatever reason. Don't scream at me. I just know there's a lot of people very passionate about the length of your pants. And another little tidbit I'll leave you off with, and it's kind of depressing little ending. One of the big rookies may or may not have their face scan in the game because they just might have just didn't want to. Unless things change. Things can always change, but you can let me know who you think that is in the comments. But all in all, that is my 100% honest review of what I experienced playing Madden 26 a little bit early. I genuinely believe it is a good step in the right direction. Everything sounds great in theory, but again, like, none of these great things they're adding really matter if it doesn't get implemented correctly. Like, we all know, like, certain things end up breaking sometimes, and it kind of just ruins the entire vibe. So if we can avoid that, I think this will be a good year. Let me know what you're thinking about Madden 26 in the comment section below. And now you can click right here to watch another Madden banger on the channel. If you're still here, then go ahead and click that subscription button.